You've worked hard your whole life, and now airlines are using your trust against you. Hidden fees, unfair prices, and sneaky tricks just because you're over 60. If you've ever faced any of these airline tricks or found a clever way around them, share your experience in the comments below. You might just help someone else avoid the same mistake. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and click like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We're here to make travel easier, fairer, and more enjoyable for everyone, especially you. Part 1. The Shocking Truth. How airlines secretly overcharge seniors. Have you ever booked a flight and felt that strange little sting in your gut? Like something wasn't quite right? Maybe you looked at your receipt and thought, why did that seat cost so much? Or maybe you saw someone half your age get on the same plane, same time, same destination, but they paid a fraction of what you did. If that's ever happened to you, you're not imagining things. Seniors are being quietly overcharged, manipulated, and let's say it ripped off by the airline industry. And it's time we talk about it. Now, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to help you take back control. Because once you know how the game is played, you can stop being the target and start flying smarter. Whether you're planning a trip to see the grandkids, heading out for that long-awaited vacation, or just trying to get the best deal on a basic flight, there are tricks airlines use that can cost you hundreds, sometimes without you even noticing. Here's the thing. Many of these tricks are designed to take advantage of people who aren't glued to technology 24/7. Seniors especially often rely on old habits, trusted names, or what a friendly airline agent says on the phone. But in today's world, the rules have changed, and airlines are counting on you not keeping up. Let's change that, starting right now. First, let's talk about dynamic pricing. Sounds fancy, right? It's not. It's a sneaky little trick where airlines change the price of a ticket based on your browsing behavior. If you search a flight once and then come back later, bam, the price has mysteriously gone up. That's no coincidence. The system sees you're interested and it assumes you're likely to book, so it bumps up the price. It's like walking into a store and having the cashier say, "Oh, you looked at this item twice? That'll be 20% more now." But here's the secret. Clear your cookies or use a browser in incognito mode. That way, the airline doesn't know you've been looking and the price stays fair. Better yet, use a price comparison site first before you go directly to the airline site. These tools are free and can save you real money. Now, let's move to another frustrating trap: seat selection fees. Airlines love to tell you your fare includes everything you need until you try to pick a seat. Suddenly, you're being asked to pay $30 or $40, even $70 just to choose where you sit. And if you're traveling with a spouse or friend, you might get randomly assigned to seats on opposite ends of the plane unless you pay. It's not a coincidence. It's a strategy. They know most seniors don't want to deal with the anxiety of being separated or stuck in a middle seat. So they squeeze extra dollars out of you by making the alternative feel uncomfortable. But you don't always have to pay. Many airlines will let you select free seats closer to your departure date if they're still available. Or you can politely ask at the check-in counter if there's any flexibility. If you're calm, friendly, and persistent, airline staff often have more power to help than they let on. Especially if you're polite, manners can work magic in the travel world. And one more thing you should know: not all discount fares are actually good deals. Some of them are what we call trap tickets. They look cheap, but they come with hidden fees for carry-ons, check-in, boarding, or changes. These are the fares that turn a $120 flight into a $250 one after all the add-ons. And here's the kicker. These fares are often targeted to people who don't read the fine print, assuming they'll just pay the fees later. So always double-check what's included. If a deal looks too good to be true, it probably is. Take a moment to read before you click. A few extra minutes could save you serious money and a whole lot of stress. Now that you know how airlines manipulate pricing, pressure you with seat fees, and bury hidden costs in discount fares, let's keep going. Because the tricks don't stop there. Part 2. Add-ons, loyalty lies, and customer service fees. What airlines don't want you to know. Another sneaky move that hits seniors hard is something called automatic travel add-ons. You'd be surprised how many people book a flight and unknowingly pay for things they didn't ask for. Like trip insurance, early boarding, or even car rentals and hotel deals tacked on at checkout. These extras are often pre-selected by default. And unless you're paying close attention and manually unchecking the boxes, you're charged without realizing it. That's no accident. These companies know many travelers, especially older ones, may not spot the fine print. It's designed to rush you through the process, especially if you're worried the flight might sell out or the price might jump. But here's the thing, you don't need most of those extras. Trip insurance can be valuable in certain cases, but you should always compare it to third-party options. And definitely don't buy it just because it was conveniently pre-added. That convenience could cost you double. Now, let's talk about loyalty programs, something that used to be great, but now they're not what they used to be. If you've been flying with one airline for decades, you might feel loyal, and that's fine. But today's airline loyalty programs are often more about locking you in than giving you real value. Unless you fly frequently, those miles and perks may not benefit you at all. In fact, you could end up paying more just to stick with one airline when other carriers might offer a better price or a more direct route. And let's not forget, frequent flyer miles often come with blackout dates, expiration rules, and redemption limits that are downright frustrating. So before you book with your airline just because you're a member, compare it with others. Price and schedule should always come first. Loyalty doesn't mean much when you're overpaying by $100 and sitting in a middle seat on a delayed flight. One of the worst ways seniors are taken advantage of, though, is through customer service fees. Not everyone is comfortable booking online, and the airlines know that. So they charge extra fees for phone bookings, in-person help, or even just making a change to your reservation. Some seniors, who feel safer talking to a real person, end up paying $25, $50, or more just for using the phone. And that's not right. If you prefer personal help, you absolutely deserve it, but there are ways to avoid the extra charges. First, look for airlines that still value customer service without nickel and diming you for it. Some budget airlines offer great digital tools, but no phone support. Others offer both, but charge you for it. But there are still a few good ones out there that treat seniors with respect and don't see your phone call as a way to make an extra buck. Also, if you're calling because something went wrong, like a canceled flight or a missed connection, politely asking for a waiver of the fee is often effective. If it wasn't your fault, you shouldn't have to pay to fix it. Airlines have more flexibility than they let on, especially if you stay calm and explain your situation clearly. And here's something else you might not expect. The earlier you book doesn't always mean the better the price. That used to be true. But now, with flexible pricing algorithms, airlines sometimes hike prices early to catch cautious travelers. Yes, especially seniors who like to plan ahead. Then they drop them later for last-minute flyers. It's not always predictable, but tools like Google Flights or Hopper can help you track trends and alert you to the best time to buy. These are the kinds of quiet tactics airlines rely on, the ones you don't see until it's too late. But once you recognize them, you can fly smarter, save money, and avoid unnecessary stress. Because flying should be about freedom, not frustration. And the good news is, you're already ahead just by being aware. So let's keep going, because there's one more costly trap that too many seniors walk right into. Part 3. Baggage traps and booking mistakes that are costing seniors hundreds. Let's talk about the final and possibly the most frustrating way airlines squeeze extra money from seniors, baggage traps. It used to be that your ticket included a carry-on and at least one checked bag. Simple, right? Not anymore. These days, many basic fares don't even include a standard carry-on. And if you show up at the airport without knowing the rules, you could be hit with a surprise fee, sometimes over $100 just to bring your small suitcase on board. What's worse, the way they present this information during booking is often confusing or buried in small print. For many older travelers, especially those who don't fly often, it's easy to assume you'll be allowed a bag because that's how it's always been. But now, unless you've specifically purchased a fare that includes baggage, even your carry-on might get you charged. It's a trap, plain and simple. So here's what you can do. Always check the baggage policy before you book, not after. Look for the fare class terms like basic economy or saver often mean bags cost extra. Don't be afraid to call the airline or ask someone to help you read the details. A few extra minutes of research could save you a surprise headache at the gate. And if you do end up needing to pay for a bag, it's usually cheaper to add it online ahead of time rather than at the airport. Another mistake that costs seniors big is trusting third-party booking sites without double-checking. Now, I know it's tempting. Those flashy websites promise cheap flights and unbeatable deals. But what they don't always tell you is that those tickets often come with fewer rights, less flexibility, and poor customer service. If something goes wrong, your flight is delayed, canceled, or rescheduled. Dealing with a third-party company can be a nightmare. In many cases, the airline won't help you directly because you didn't book through them. And the site you did book through? Good luck getting a real person on the phone. That's why, once you find a good deal on a third-party site, it's worth seeing if you can book directly through the airline instead. Even if it costs a little more, the support and flexibility are almost always worth it. Now, maybe the biggest takeaway here is this: you have more power than you think. Airlines are counting on you to feel overwhelmed or confused by all these new systems. They hope you won't question a fee or challenge a price, but you can. You've lived long enough to know when something feels wrong, and now you have the tools to back that instinct with knowledge. You don't have to fall into these traps. You can ask questions. You can say no to unnecessary fees. You can shop around, compare prices, and speak up when something doesn't make sense. Travel isn't just for the tech-savvy 20-year-olds. You've earned the right to enjoy your journeys without being nickel and dimed every step of the way. So, before your next trip, take a little extra time to plan smarter. Don't rush through the checkout page. Don't trust that the first price you see is the best one. And don't let anyone make you feel like you don't belong in the skies. Remember, age doesn't make you a target, it makes you wiser. And now that you know these airline secrets, you're not just a passenger, you're a savvy traveler. So go out there, see the world, visit the people you love, and do it all with confidence. You deserve it. If you've ever faced any of these airline tricks or found a clever way around them, share your experience in the comments below. You might just help someone else avoid the same mistake. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and click like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We're here to make travel easier, fairer, and more enjoyable for everyone, especially you. Here's to stress-free flights and smarter travel at any age. You've got this.